Poe and Ponder, and I'm back with another video. Yo, I want to talk about Donald Trump's joint address to Congress that happened yesterday. I want to get into it. I also want to talk about the hearing that took place today for the four mayors for Chicago, Denver, Boston, and New York City. I want to get into that. But listen, thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel. Yo, I want to say this. Did the Democrats, yo, let me just tell you this. They make me so embarrassed to be a Democrat, right? Now, I'm a Democrat, but I'm all about policy. And yeah, you know, I may have voted the way that I do, but I can still see outside the bubble. Yo, let me just tell you something. It was so much going on in regards to this joint address that happened the other night on Tuesday. First and foremost, let me tell you this. My aunt reached out to me and she had this long text message that was sent out, and I'm pretty sure it was circling within the Roland Martin group. He was trying to divert everybody from watching Trump's address to Congress, joint address to Congress. He wanted them all to come over to his channel, watch his video, and not to pay any attention to it. Now listen, I did check out to see what Roland Martin was talking about, which was what I expected, right? But I felt like Donald Trump did really good, and I feel like we've been like trained to in regards to his presidency. If Donald Trump is racist, then Joe Biden was racist too. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton was racist too. Like, I don't understand people. It's like, y'all don't want us to have any type of respect or regard for Donald Trump. And I think that honestly, based off of what he's been doing, I think that he's already started off doing a good job. First and foremost, he shut down these borders. 90%, the migrant crossings have decreased. 90%. They said that this time last year they had hundreds of thousands of crossings. They only had 8,000 attempt crossings that happened this year. So I felt like Trump did his thing in the speech. And one thing I just didn't like, especially with that guy Al Green, how he came and they was just disruptive. And then Jasmine Crockett, she looked all screw face up. Let me tell you something, right? Y'all make me feel bad because I'm like, damn, like, you know, do I have a certain je ne sais quoi? Like, when it comes to, like, listen, we all be under pressure and be in situations where we are uncomfortable. But you giving it up and you so ugly. This meant, listen, let me get into some of the points that I wanted to make. So Trump proclaimed from the beginning, he said America is back. He said that we are in the golden age we're in the golden age as far as, like, you know, how the economy is going to be booming and all of that. And listen, first 43 days, we need to sit back and see what's going to happen. Whether you like it or not, he's going to be in office for the next 4 years, right? So yeah, he proclaimed that, you know, the golden age of America is here, and that he's done more in 43 days than people doing full terms or 8 years. So I thought that was interesting, right? He gloated that he won all 7 swing states as well, you know, and then I think that's when some of the Democrats started to boo and all of that. But as they started to boo, they started the Republicans started chanting USA, 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 right? I just was like, yo, the Democrats showed up really, really weak. Like, why show up at all? And Donald Trump even mentioned in his speech, he was just like, he said, there's nothing that I can do to make you stand for me, clap for me, or anything. He said, I could come out. He said, I could have a cure for a disease and these people still would feel a certain type of way. It's like, dang, like, if y'all felt that, if you felt so strongly that way, why did you even show up, right? And it was like Trump was staring in the audience at him. Like, let me tell you something, right? They try to make it seem like Trump off his rocker. He's old, he's aging. We all aging, right? But they try to make it seem like he's close to, like, going through dementia or something. He's tactful, he's on point, and he know what he's doing, whether you want to admit it or not. I think that the last time he was in office, I felt like I was, you know, indoctrinated by so many thoughts people do on me. Like, oh, don't watch Fox News, don't watch this. And I think that you should take everything you hear with a grain of salt. But anyway, yeah, he was staring in the audience. You know, he had the type of, he was like, he was almost taunting the Democrats. Like, he was on it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I already spoke about Jasmine Crockett, just going through some of my notes. So I said that he snapped on the Democrats, checked them in regards to, you know, he could stop crime. He could come out with some sort of cure for a disease. They still would never stand up. He was like, you know, he invited them to, you know, to join in and make America great. But they still was just, you know what I'm saying? It was really unfortunate. I felt like it was a missed opportunity to come there to at least try to, like, move forward. And I feel like Jasmine Crockett, in her little heart, she feel like she's some sort of thug, and she like, yeah, I sat up there with him. And you got Roland Martin trying to divert the crowds, and it's like, little did he know it was hundreds of thousands and probably millions of views from different channels of people watching the address. So that was just crazy, right? So, all right. So Trump first went into, he said that he put a freeze on federal hiring, federal regulations, foreign aid was freezed, right? So, all of that USAID, foreign aid was freed, ordered federal workers back to work. It's so crazy. I got a cousin who works for the federal government. I got a few cousins that work for the federal government. They did say that they've been ordered to go back to work. So that is crazy. They've been working home since the pandemic. So could you imagine how a lot of people build their lives around that? And then going into them DC offices, that's going to be crazy. Like, you know how that would change your life after working from home since like 2020, like 2020, 2021? So that's a lot. So yeah, he stopped the government censorship and now allowed free speech. Free speech is back. I think that has its negative, the pros and the cons to that, because a lot of people are blatantly racist. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you this too. You might be thinking like, oh, you just agree with everything that Trump says. No, I don't. I don't agree with anything everyone says. But I do think that he is progressive in his processes and his, what he wants for the American people. I look at his policies as an American, like, I am black, but I feel like people got to get out of that Democrat Republican. It's like, are you American? As it pertains to these illegal immigrants who's causing so much crime, and this black woman, what's her name? I can't think of her name. The one with the bald head. She said something in a clip I heard earlier talking about immigrants don't commit as much crime as natural born Americans. It's like they shouldn't be committing any crime. One crime is one too many, and two is too much. Like, this crazy. We gonna get to that though, right? All right. So he's just kind of like, I felt like this whole joint address to Congress was more so like a streamline and an outline of everything that he's been working on. Because most of the things that he spoke on, if you've been a person who followed politics, you've already heard most of it. So he said that he made English the primary only language for the United States. That's crazy, because when I went into Walgreens today, I'm like, I asked the cashier, I'm like, why is this in Spanish? I was going to say something about that whole thing, but I ain't want to go into that and get it all shaken up, because people that I don't care what they thought, but I'm like, why is this in Spanish? And my thought process changed up. When I moved here to Houston, Texas from upstate New York, Houston, Texas is right close here to Mexico. They got a lot of, different people who speak Spanish here. I never realized how much, it was the push for bilingual or Spanish speaking on jobs that you apply for. I'm like, damn, it wasn't like this where I come from upstate New York, but down here it's really the push for it. And I just find it interesting. I think they need to find a way to go away with that too, because it's like how we can't even get certain positions, and y'all talking about you got to be bilingual or you got to be Spanish speaking only. All right. So DEI is dead. Federal government, private sector, and military. He said skill and competency versus race and gender. And he said America is no longer woke. Now, when Trump said no, America is no longer woke, I felt as though at first, because black people, we keep that amongst ourselves. Like, are you woke? Like, awake to the BS in regards to the propaganda? Are you on code? Right. So pretty much what I read up on it was saying that woke means like, they're no longer going to be, honoring whether you're LGBTQ or gender, trans, whatever. It's all going to be based on competency, skill, and merit, right? Which it should always be. And I do think certain people in different positions, they are able to get jobs within certain fields, but I think more so like if you're air traffic control or if you want to be a pilot, I don't think they're just going to hire somebody based off of identity. You're going to have to really prove that, right? And ever since people been mentioning this DEI, they've been trying to tell black people, you need to boycott, you need to do this, you need that. Listen, they mention DEI and they think we supposed to DIE. Like, we're the ones who benefit the less from it. Do your research. So many people wanted us to boycott the other day, last Friday, talking about don't do this, don't do that. And it's like, did you even do your research? Listen, the white man is the one who started that whole boycott and all of that. People just be following trends. I had a cousin who was mad at me because I said that I was going to get my oil changed last week at Walmart, and I did get it done. Like, who are you to try to micromanage me, right? So listen, he said he put an executive order banning men from women's sports. Do you agree with that or not? Do you think that makes you Republican? Do you think that matters if you're Republican or Democrat? He had an executive order banning men from women's sports. He had a woman there by the name of Peyton. She was playing volleyball. Some man had smashed her in the face with the ball, caused her brain damage. She had some sort of brain damage from him smashing her in the face with the ball from playing volleyball. So Trump stated that for now going forward, men are not allowed to play in women's sports, and if any of the schools are found out, they're going to lose all of their federal funding. And I think that's right. No man should be playing in those sports with no women anyway. Come on. That's crazy. He also mentioned that it was some man who was in a race with women who the man finished like 5 hours ahead of all of the other women. You know, on average, a man is 30%, maybe to 50% stronger than women. Come on, man. A man should never be playing in those sports with no women at all. I don't care. Right? So let me know what you think about that in the comments too. If you a person like, listen, that's the thing. It's like the Democrats, they want to fight and support immigration, illegal aliens, have these people running rampant through the cities. And, you know, it's people in our cities who need support and need help, and you just overlook them. This is what is that what a Democrat means to stand for? That means that you're supposed to like just allow everything. It's supposed to be a dumping zone where you're a Democrat. That's what it basically seems. And it's just like, if I'm a Democrat and that's what that means, what I need to just switch up and be independent, to be honest with you, because I want to look at everything and be able to see. And I just find myself not really relating to the Democratic rhetoric anymore, just to be honest with you. Trump addressed inflation, economic disaster, and egg prices. He was saying that, you know, it was that basically we're in an economic crisis based on what Joe Biden has done, and going through all of the monies, the fake fraud, waste, and abuse that Doge uncovered. Yo, not only all of the people in Social Security, that they said there's still people in the Social Security system up to 300 years in age. It's crazy. And they're trying to figure out why is money being paid out to different people in Social Security over the age of 100. He was like, he said Americans are more healthy than I thought. Come on, people in the Social Security system getting paid out. They said it was people getting EIDL and PPP loans who were over the age of 100 too. What's going on with the money? But then somebody said to me, they said that, oh, the oversight, Republicans took away the oversight during, you know, that time period, whatever. You know that the people always try to shift the blame. But I want to go through and just read some of the things that President Trump mentioned that was uncovered in the fraud, waste, and abuse. $22 billion from HHS to fund housing and cars for migrants. $22 million from HHS to fund housing and cars for migrants? Are you crazy? $45 million for DEI scholarships in Burma, not even in the United States. $45 million for DEI scholarships in Burma. That's crazy. That's in Southeast Asia, just to let you know that too. $40 million for sedentary migrants. That's foolish. $8 million for LGBTQ and African nation of Lesotho, right? And Trump said he never heard of that, and I've never heard of it either. $60 million for indigenous people of Afro-Colombia empowerment in Central America. $8 million to make mice transgender. What is this for? $8 million to make mice transgender? $32 million for left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. Like, not even in the United States. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street, for the program Sesame Street for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. So we donated $20 million so they could have Sesame Street in the Middle East. What do that got to do with us? What do we got to do with us? That's crazy. If this is, this is almost embarrassing. All right, $1.9 billion for decarbonation of homes committed by Stacey Abrams, right? $1.9 billion for decarbonization of homes. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. When you start thinking about it, what does this mean? $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. Imagine that. This is all taxpayer money. $47 million for learning outcomes in Asia. And Trump was like, Asia is doing pretty good when it comes to learning. We need that money for us. $101 million for DEI contracts for the Department of Education. He said that the federal government uncovered $500 billion in fraud in the USA. The federal government accountability, they found 500 billion in fraud in the USA. All right. That's crazy. And then we spoke about the, he said they uncovered in a list of incompetence and fraud found in Social Security, 4.7 million people from the ages of 100 to 109 years old. And up to 300 years old, people getting benefits. All right. So that was that. Trump also talked about the tax cuts that he wanted to provide to everybody, you know, on personal income tax, permanent tax cuts. He also mentioned that he wants no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for elderly. Interest payments will be tax deductible on vehicles made in the United States. So if you have a vehicle, you know, maybe like a Ford. This Ford is made in the United States. Just that, for example, if you have a vehicle and you have car payments, your interest will be tax deductible if it is a car that was made in the United States. I think that's a nice incentive, and that also steers you to buy American-made vehicles. If you get the drift from Trump, he wants people to spend more money in the United States. He doesn't want us to have to go. And you know, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I was younger, I would always see in New York all those white people. They'd be like, "Buy USA." Buy. I mean, sometimes you hear something and it doesn't. You don't really get it until you're older. So I'm older now, so you know, a lot of things make more sense to me now. So now, you know, with boosting the economy and keeping jobs in, you know, the United States, it does make a lot more sense for you to support locally than we buy everything from China and overseas. And you know, all right. He also touched on the tariffs. Now, the reason why Canada and Mexico is getting most of the tariffs because they're sending the fentanyl through, which has caused hundreds of thousands of deaths. Come on, that fentanyl is a problem. That's one of the reasons also you might think it's funny, but I stopped smoking weed because you never know who's touching what and what's getting mixed up. No. Nah, I don't play those games like that. So, you know, he imposed that because the fentanyl is coming through Mexico, coming through Canada. So they're upset. You know, it was that whole talk about Canada saying that they were going to cut off the electricity for people in specific regions who would be affected by that. I'm down in Texas, so I don't think I would be impacted by that electricity. But, you know, Trump, if you get the gist of anything, he means business. The man means business. You might not like the aggressive force, but you see Zelensky, he came back talking about, oh, I want to strike a deal. Oh, he waving the flag and all that. Yeah, Zelensky know. He know what's up. All right. So, you know, the tax cuts, tariffs will be charged at a higher rate for, he said, you know, the United States gets charged the most money in tariffs based on all other countries. He was like, it's just not fair. So starting on April 2nd, he said he didn't want to start it on April 1st because they thought that it would be some sort of April Fools. But starting on April 2nd, it'll be a reciprocal tariff. So whatever they charge us, we're going to charge them. So we keep the playing field even. You know what I'm saying? All right. And then, you know, while he was saying that, you know, he mentioned Mexico and Canada allowing the fentanyl in the United States subsidies to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. And he was pretty much saying, like, I felt like he was trying to say in a certain type of way where if certain countries just try to like raise their tariffs so high, he didn't really care. And he kind of pivoted over to this conversation saying that he has $1.7 trillion in investments coming in, $200 billion from SoftBank. OpenAI and Oracle have a $500 billion investment. Apple is planning a $500 billion investment. And they said they want to spend more money. They can't wait to send more money. And then Taiwan, a semiconductor, has a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips, you know, electronic chips in the United States. So I felt like that was a really good thing. You know, Trump is he's trying to just let you know, like, you know, listen, we might have some pushback over here, but we trying to find and fill the gaps over there. So listen, the only thing that I can do is remain optimistic. I'm not going to go into no panic mode and just be worried and concerned. I want to see how the next 4 years is going to roll out. It may be better. I'm ready for Trump to talk about crypto. That's what I want him to talk about. All right. Also, what I felt was really, really crazy was Trump talked about Laken Riley. You know, Laken Riley, who was unalived, and Jocelyn Nungare, 13-year-old, unalive. Also, that cancer, the boy who had the brain cancer, he was up there, DJ, I believe his name was. Now, the Democrats showed no type of love for their stories even. They didn't get up. They didn't, you know, applaud or anything. It was just like they were mum. I didn't understand why they was there. It's like, damn, y'all couldn't even clap for Jocelyn Nungare or for the Laken Riley. That was really wow. And then Jocelyn Nungare, her mother spoke on that too as well. And they asked her mom, they said, you know, out of the presidents, out of the Kamala Harris and President Biden, did they reach out to you, you know, with anything regarding your daughter? She said that she did not hear from Harris or she did not hear from Biden. And I just felt like that was sick. All right, I just want to make sure that I went over everything. So, you know, Trump, he spoke about the economic initiatives and trade policies. President Trump emphasized his administration commitment to revitalizing the American economy through significant tax cuts. We spoke about the tax cuts and all of that. He announced the imposition of substantial tariffs on countries like Canada and Mexico, signaling readiness to engage in trade wars to protect American industries. Yes. And he also said that they're going to start drilling and, you know, using more natural resources from America. And I think that that's great. We talked about the government efficiencies with Elon Musk and all of the waste and all the waste. Listen, they said there's supposed to be a $5,000 Dodge dividend. I think they just threw that out there to get the people talking. I feel like Trump's administration, he knows how to get people talking. I don't think it's going to be no 5,000, but whatever they send my way, I'm spinning it, right? We spoke about immigration and the border. So, one thing I want to talk about immigration and the border. So they had this hearing today. The Republican Congress, the congressmen from you know, Republicans, they grilled Eric Adams from New York City. I can't remember the girl name from Boston, the woman, but her family's immigrants. Brandon Johnson from Chicago, and then so that's 1, 2, 3, and then the Denver mayor, right? So he's grilling them on all these questions about, you know, sanctuary cities, talking about the crime going on. They all have heinous crimes going on in this city. And Eric Adams, you know, they grilled him a little bit. They was asking him, like, why did you change? You know, why all of a sudden, you know, you're on board with Tom Homan and Trump or whatever. Listen, I want to say this loud and proud. I ain't mad at Eric Adams, because if he could duck those charges and get off of them charges, you know what I'm saying? If he could get in line and get New York City right. What I don't understand is, like, out of all of the mayors where they come off, making it just seem like they're all so pro. Listen, those mayors, they don't care about the regular average civilian that's you know, the natural born citizens from the area. It's just like they pump up the migrants. I don't get it. So Eric Adams, you know, he's on board now. He wants to cooperate with ICE to get the criminals off of the streets, right? Brandon Johnson, he just seems so robotic. He's saying the same thing over and over. He seems like he doesn't deter from it. He's just very robotic. And what I don't understand about Brandon Johnson, that Michelle lady from Boston, and even the guy from Denver, right? They're just all like, not only like in Chicago, you got a man running around right now who that's on the loose right now from a murder that happened. They can't find him running through Chicago. And you know, Chicago is a cesspool for crime and all of that, right? So that's Chicago. Then this other Michelle, she was supporting something crazy the other day because somebody tried to stab somebody and they didn't try to shoot him, and she was like so happy or whatever for a migrant. It's just weird. It's weirdness. It's just like, do y'all not realize the public threat that these migrants have on the streets? But you know what? You don't ever realize it until it's you in the seat that it's happening to. And then also in Denver, and then I felt like it was something else heinous that happened and nefarious that happened out in Boston. I feel like it was somebody who did some intimate assault to a child and they ended up letting them out. I want to let you know this too, if you made it this far in the video. The migrants, they get, based on the crimes in the sanctuary cities, like the person so this person in Boston, right? I can't think of what their name was or anything, but they was on the TDA, Trinidad Agua, whatever that is called, pronounced, right? TDA for short. But the man brutally assaulted and unalived his girlfriend in front of the 5-year-old child, and he went to jail, and they let him out because they said he showed mercy in jail. So these people, imagine, like with us, if we was to do something crazy to a person on the street, we can't get out. We can't get out. You have to serve your time. You're going to be prosecuted, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to go to prison. So for these migrants, they come here, they can commit crime, and they can commit crime and be let right back out on the streets. There's so many different ones. I wanted to put some videos in this I wanted to put some videos from some news clips in here, but I just didn't really want to do that. I wanted to really come talk and like exercise my muscles. Sometimes I be trying not to play videos and just want to just go with it, but hopefully you still find it, you know, helpful. But yeah, man. Those congressmen, they grilled those four mayors, and they were just asking them different questions. And you know, even in regards to the one in Denver, they had this man who was like very violent from Trinidad as well, TDA. And I believe what happened was is that they got grilled by the congressman, and he asked him. He said, "Listen, let me ask you this." He said, "If this man was locked up, why weren't you cooperating with ICE the moment he got released so that they could pick him up right after?" They let this man out on the streets for like an hour before for ICE could even get there, and then they ended up assaulting the police or something like that. It was crazy. It was crazy, yo. When I'm telling you, I implore you, pay attention more to your politics. I know that they want you to stay away from the Fox News and, you know, and certain news outlets because we've been trained and we've been indoctrinated to think that these people give off bad vibes or they're racist or whatever. Listen, I take everything with a grain of salt, but I'm still listening. Just like my aunt, they were sending out those blasts. Roland Martin was blasting it everywhere, talking about, oh, you know, don't listen to Trump's address to Congress, join the address, watch my channel. Why? So we could run up your views and you can make more money? Why? Is that the reason why? Why? Like, I don't understand. I want to hear what everybody's saying. You're not going to block me off and make me not listen to, you know, to what Trump is talking about. That's just weak to me. And whatever you're doing is not going to stop what he has planned and going forth. It's just not going to stop it. So I want everybody to get money. I want everybody to stay laser focused. Keep your eyes open. Be objective. And I'm gonna be honest with you. This year, like this past election season, like, it's woke me up to so much the way how people act, and like it almost makes me embarrassed to even say that I'm a Democrat with the way that people act. Jasmine Crockett, she needs to stop it. She be performing, and it's like she think that ratchery is so cute, and it's like she's trying to induct people into, like, you know, acting all crazy and dancing today not like us and doing all of that. It's like, sweetheart, be professional. And you know what? Them people who you think that you signaling to and that may exalt you for all that ratchetness and all of that, them people, they're not going to show up in droves to support you. And then, you know, I heard rumbling saying that they was trying to gas her to run for president the next time. You're not going to win. You're not going to win. And I'm not even talking against you, but I'm going to tell you this right now. The way that the American people are happy across the board, I'm talking about every nationality, the way that the American people are happy at the record, the amounts of waste, fraud, abuse that they're finding, and, you know, the way that the media is spinning it to make it, you know, not even seem like, but the obvious work, the border crossings being down, you know, all of that. And it's like a lot of these mayors is lying in these cities talking about the crime is down, and it's like they're lying. It's been proven that they're lying, especially in Denver. The crime is definitely not down. They said that they believe that they're not even reporting crime. But anyway, as it pertains to Trump, people see action. He's promoting that heavy in his first 43 days that he's got more done and this and that. So that's no funniness, but it's gonna, like, let the people know. I want to say brainwash them, but they're not gonna want a Democrat in office next time. They're not. Even if Trump can't run again, they're gonna put Vance in that place if he runs. I'm telling you. Mark my words. Mark it. It's not. It's gonna be a long time before a Democrat get in office again. And maybe, you know, some Democrats will learn a valuable lesson this time. So listen, potent, pondering, never pandering. I've been up here for a minute chit-chatting and talking. Hopefully you found this video valuable. If you made it to the end of the video, support this channel. The Cash App is in the description. I'll also drop it in the comments. But I truly enjoyed Trump's joint address to Congress. And, you know, I'm ready to see what's going to happen. Either way, I got to work hard every day. Either way, I got to take care of myself. You know, clean this country up. Get these migrants up out of here. 59 million on hotels. 59 million on hotels, luxury hotels in New York City. That's crazy. We go there, can't get no discount. We need help. We can't get no food stamps. We can't get no rental assistance or nothing. These people get dumped off in here like a damn dumping zone and receive all of the benefits, all of that. I'm sorry, not feeling it. I know this video was scattered, but hopefully you got something out of it. Listen, I'm up out of here. Peace.